Hello my dear friends, my name is Sanne and welcome back to another beauty video. Today I have for you an extremely exciting new release that's happening this week, and I am happy that I'm able to show off all of these products to you before anything is out. So Oden's Eye has a new launch coming and it is part of the Älva collection. I am not entirely sure if that is how you pronounce it, but I'm gonna pronounce it that way. I'm very sorry. It's the Älva collection, which is like centered around fairies, but this time they're expanding and they're focusing on all of the different seasons. They're adding 4 new palettes to the collection, which is a crazy amount. One for every season, and here you have them. I will go over those soon. But they're also adding some lip products to the collection, and in total they're adding 12 lip products. 6 of those will be matte liquid lipsticks and 6 will be lip glosses. So we're gonna have a giant addition to this little line, and I'm gonna tell you already, everything looks so adorable and cute and in pastel shades and everything, so this is totally up my alley. Oden's Eye sent me all of these products in PR. They're not paying me to do any of this content, they're not paying me for this video, so everything that you're gonna see is just me talking about these new products, like my own opinions and everything. Yeah, that's a little disclaimer before we get into it. I will first talk with you through all of the palettes and show them off and show some swatches on the screen. Then I'll talk with you through all of the lip products and swatch them for you. And then I will show you how I created this makeup look and my first impressions on it using one of the eyeshadow palettes. But yeah, I think it is time to dive into these 4 new palettes that they have over here. So these are the 4 palettes. They're all in the new iconic Oden's Eye square packaging. I already tested and they're exactly the same size as my Christmas Eve palette. So I think it looks nice that like the palettes all have their own packaging, but they're all kind of similar. So I don't know, they match well together even though they're completely different collections basically. But we have 4 palettes here. One for every season. We have summer, winter, fall and spring. They're all in a cute little color. Let me show you the spring one first. That's where we'll start because it's pink. This is the beautiful packaging. It has lots of like texture on it as well, like these flowers and the bees. They're like textured. It feels really intriguing. It just adds a lot of quality to the palette. I feel like if you have like these textures that you can feel, I don't know, it just makes the quality feel more professional. It's a very, very cute palette. This is the Spring Älva palette. All of these palettes come in like the little slip cases. Like these, they're fully matching, they're fully the same. So let's look at the inside of the Spring Älva palette, where we have some very fun, bright colors. I feel like this one has the most bright colors out of the 4 palettes. Every palette has 16 shades, 8 of which are shimmers and 8 of which are mattes. I really like that division. Like I like to have a good amount of shimmers but also have a good amount of mattes to base them on top of, you know? So I don't know, I always feel like a 50-50 split in mattes and shimmers. It's a very good ratio for me personally. Yeah, this one I also feel like is the most chaotic looking at first glance, but we do have some beautiful colors in here that work very well together. We have some mauvey gray tones, we have a bit of purple, some bright pinks and some more muted pinks and some blues and some neutrals as well. What is really interesting to me, what I noticed while swatching, is that all of these palettes have some like multiple types of duochromes or multichromes in there. This one is very cool. It has like a really pink base, but the shimmers switch between pink and orange and yellow, so that one is really cool. This one has a very brown base and the shimmer switches between purple and blue a bit, and then every palette has this like marbled sort of shade up top that has a very jelly like texture almost. It's like the Colourpop Super Shock textures basically. And this one, it's like it has a translucent base and then it switches between bright yellow and bright pink. So as you can tell, at least 3 of the shimmers in this one are like multichrome, duochrome sort of action shades that are a bit more special. So you don't just get any regular shimmers in here, you do get some pretty special shimmers. I also enjoyed that there's a bit of a texture difference between the shimmers. Some are very flaky and some are very extremely metallic and some are way more like soft and subtle or a bit more satiny. Like that one I feel like it's a very satiny shade. So we do get a lot of different formulas within one palette. I'll put the swatches on the screen so you can look at them. One thing that I noticed while swatching all of these palettes is that in the swatches the mattes look not great, and I think it's because I was swatching with just bare fingers on my bare arm, and these mattes, to really get the pigmentation out of it, you kind of need to have some sort of a tacky or wet base to it, because you can see in like parts of the swatches where the matte shade is covering the shimmer shade next to it, it sticks way more to that shimmer shade than it does to my dry skin. So I feel like it needs some sort of a tacky base, and then you'll get extreme pigmentation out of it. I already tried. You'll get extreme pigmentation out of it. Just in the swatches, they seem a bit like patchy and not sticking well, but I do feel like that's mainly because it was my dry skin. So yeah, that is the Spring Älva palette. Let's go to the summer one. Okay, so the summer Älva palette is very blue. I think it's very fun that these palettes don't go for the generic spring colors, basically. Like you would expect browns for fall, oranges and yellows for summer, some pinks and greens for spring, and then some blues for winter. That's what I expect, but these palettes do not really hold to that stereotype. They do really have fun and unique color stories, and I feel like you could definitely just pick one of the palettes that matches your preferred color story. But the summer one is very, very blue focused, so let's have a look at that. I do feel like this is giving like ocean vibes, marina. It's very, very cute blues. I am wearing this palette on my eyes right now, so I will show you in a bit how I did that. But yeah, we even got some really bright blues, but we got some softer blues and some grays and some metallic-y shades. Like this one is very silvery. And then we even got some neutrals and a bright like red to orange and green multichrome. Then these two also switch between blue and purple. This one also a bit. And this one is just an interesting sort of holographic shape anyway. So we have multiple interesting shimmers in this one. Again, I'll put the swatches on screen. I feel like all of the palettes swatch the same, like the shimmer formulas and the matte formulas. So it's gonna have the same issues as I explained for the previous palette. But yeah, I do really enjoy all of these shades together. And I like that we have that bright red. I don't know how I'm gonna incorporate that yet, but that is a fun one. So today I'm only showing you how to do this look. I already did a different look with the winter palette. But my goal is to do at least 3 looks per palette and showcase them all on my Instagram so we can see like all the different color stories that you can make with the different palettes. So if you want any of that, keep your eyes peeled on my Instagram. You'll see it over there. But yeah, this one is a very, very fun bright blue color story. Then we have the fall palette, which the packaging is sort of like yellowy green. I think it's very cute. Again, feels very luxurious. Also on the back we have the shade names. And the autumn palette looks like this on the inside. Again, not colors that you would immediately like expect of fall, but they do fit the fall theme very well. Like the muted greens and browns and some pink in there. I think it's great. I love it. I love these like murky tones over here. This pastel green, I'm looking forward to that one. And these pinks match those green shades so well. It's gonna give a nice little contrast and a pop of color basically. Again, 8 shimmers, 8 mattes. The shimmers are way more special than you would think of them at first glance. This one kind of has like an orangey brown base, but it shimmers to like green and yellow. This one is again one of the squishy formulas. This one is just extremely sparkly. And this one kind of has like a minty base. And then it's shifts to like an actual bright green shimmer. I feel like those two are a bit shifty as well. They go from a bit like a more bluish toned green to a really yellow toned green. So I feel like most of the shimmers have some sort of like a subtle shift or something special to them. Again, swatches are on screen the entire time. Yeah, I cannot wait to use this one, honestly. That green and that pink, that will look so cute together. I'm looking forward to using that. And I love that we have like these sort of like pinky mauvey tones over there that all go very well together. So that was the autumn palette, and finally we have the winter palette. This has purple packaging, and I don't know if this one is my favorite yet, but I think it might be. We have this beautiful purple color story. What I like a lot about this one is we have a very light part up here, very dark part down there. I feel like that's been a bit of a trend in the other palettes as well, but this one clearly has light and dark, which I think is great. We have some pastels, but also some like really deep jewel tones that are great for winter. I love all these purple tones. I feel like they're perfect for winter time, and I love that we get a little bit of pastel yellow there to combine with all the purples. They really made me happy with this one. So yeah, we have some stunning, gorgeous purples over there. These purples are a bit more cool toned. I enjoy a great cool tone purple. This one is so squishy and fun. It switches between pink and yellow. I'm also really enjoying these berry shades over here. This one is very special. I don't know if you can see it very well in here, but it has like this almost like gray base with a bright green shimmer in it that switches to like a pink shimmer as well. It's a very intriguing shade. This one has a bit of a purple and blue shimmer to it. So there's definitely some more special shades in here as well. Again, the swatches have been on screen, so you can look at those as well. Yeah, this one might be my favorite just because of the purples and the pastel yellow, because those are honestly like my favorite colors. Very cute. So those are the 4 palettes. They look beautiful. The swatches are a bit disappointing on first glance, but knowing that they perform, like the mattes perform so well on top of those shimmers, I am so confident that they will perform well on a tacky base. And it's just my dry arms, so. But do keep that in mind. I know the swatches aren't looking the greatest, so you just do with that what you want. But yeah, those are the 4 palettes. And now we also have 12 new lip products, like I said. We have 6 new matte liquid lipsticks. They come in these beautiful green boxes. And then we have 6 shine lip glosses in these pink boxes. The colors are on the bottom. So this is what the liquid lipsticks look like. They're in this very cute green with yellow gradient tube. Some golden details on all of them. The colors on the bottom. So yeah, we have 6 of these. And then the lip glosses look very similar. Like they basically have the same packaging, just different coloring. And I like that a lot because you can relate them to the same collection, but you can definitely easily pick out the lip glosses from the liquid lipsticks. So this one is a yellow to pink gradient with gold details. Again, all of the shade names at the bottom. So let me just show them like this. These are the 6 lip gloss shades. I do feel like the shade on the lips does not really match the shade that you are seeing on this sticker. So I'm gonna swatch them for you in a bit, so on my arm, so you can see the difference, but do keep that in mind. And these are the 6 liquid lipsticks. I feel like these are a bit more pink toned and the other ones a bit more orange toned. Those are they. They are those are they. They are them. Yes. So I think it's time to swatch these. I will just swatch them on the back of my hand for you. I'm gonna start with the liquid lipsticks. I'm gonna start with shade Peach Peony. They seem very, very crumbly when taking them out of the packaging. Just gonna swatch them like that for you. It's almost like a powdery matte. It's very powdery. This one has a bit of an orange undertone to it. Very cute. It's like almost like a ricotta shade. It's like almost like a ricotta shade. A ricotta. And it's like that, it's very powdery, but it also has a bit of like that waxy texture to it that makes it easy to blend out. So you could basically only do the center of your lips, for example. I feel like you could do more with it than just cover up your entire lip. Then we have Vintage Fuchsia. They swatch a bit patchy, so I don't know how that will perform on the lips. But I do think that these, like, they seem like they can have a lot of pigment, but I do think they're more, the formula is more made to be blotted out, basically. Then next we have the darker shade, which is Cocoa Bloom, which looks very dark when it gets out of the tube. I feel like you can make it a bit dark, but I feel like these liquid lips are just meant to be kind of blotted out, like I said. That one is just a bit patchy. Then we have shade Camellia Muse. Very pink, very cute. I'm sorry, I'm really awful at the swatching business. It's a bit more pink toned, but it's still very muted. Then we have Nude Nectar. I will move over here. Oh, that's a great nude shade. It's a bit of a pinky tone. I do feel like it's very similar to that one that is very patchy. And then finally we have Cream Petal. That's more an orangey toned nude. So this is the shade range of the liquid lips. I guess that it's not really like a liquid lip, it's more like one of those powdery lip clays. That's how I would describe them. And I think this is a pretty decent range. There's some more pink, some more orange, some nudes in different undertones, and then something dark brown. That's a very unique shade. I feel like this looks pretty good. Shall we try to do the glosses on my other hand? We have the glosses over here. First I have Citrus Camellia. No, let me try on this. This is gonna be my non-dominant swatching. This is gonna be worse. Cool. That's a nice shade. All of these are like the cream glosses. Like the one I'm wearing right now. There's no glitters or anything in them. Oh wait, does this one have glitter? I thought it didn't, but... Okay, yeah. That one does have a shimmer in it. Very, very subtle, but it has some sparkles. Some yellow, some blue, some pink. Just a bunch of different sparkles in there. And we'll have a Little Jasmine 3. I feel like this is a very green toned gloss. It's almost like orangey green. It's a really intriguing shade. That one is just fully cream. Then we have Dusty Burgundy, which is very dark. I feel like that one might pull into the lines a little bit because it's pulling into my hand wrinkles, you know, but not too bad. I don't think I would call this actually burgundy, but it is definitely more red toned than the other shades so far. It's like a deep reddish brown. Then we have Tawny Rose, which is really dark. It's like a really dark brown. It's a really intriguing shade. Wouldn't necessarily connect that to roses, but do you see what I mean with the sticker not matching up? Like that sticker shade and then that lip gloss shade. That's like two fully different shades. So the stickers aren't really gonna help to choose what lipstick you're picking, basically. Then we have shade Latte Lily right there. It's more of like an orangey brown. And then finally we have Apricot Whisper, which is very fun because, ooh, bright orange. Let's see if it actually is bright. That one feels a bit thinner in texture, but it is actually quite bright orange. See that? Oh, I think that's very fun. These very professional lipstick swatches. I love these ranges. Like, we do have a big range of different shades, so I think that's very fun. Like, there's gonna be something for everyone, and also to match the different palettes as well. Like, the palettes have such different color stories. If we would just have like one pink toned lip gloss, it isn't gonna match all of them, you know? So I'm happy that we have all of these different shades. I'm really intrigued to see that one on the lips, honestly. It's so dark. That's gonna be fun. And that orangey one is also really fun. I've been wearing one of these lip glosses for a while now, and they feel really comfortable. They are a bit like thicker. They're not very watery glosses, but very comfortable. Yeah, so I cannot speak that much more on the formula of these ones. I did wear that one this morning very quickly. I do not have any notes on how well it lasts or whatever. I do think it looked nice, but I do think it's a formula that you need to have a little bit. It has a little bit of a learning curve, you know? But I do think it's a great addition to their collection. Like, this is also just gonna it expands the entire range a bit, you know? So yeah, that's all there. Like I said, this is not like a review video because I cannot review this collection because I haven't used it enough yet. These are just my first impressions. Like, what do I think? I think some of these look a bit patchy, but some of these are great. I don't know how they're gonna look on the lips. I am very intrigued and I love the color story. I love the different shades that they have available. The gloss formula feels great, so that's also a plus. I don't feel like there's much else that I can say without trying all of these formulas a bit more and a bit longer. I will probably keep you updated on my Instagram and such. But first I'm gonna show you how I created this look using some of the products from this collection. Okay, so for this look, just to try out the formula a tiny bit, I want to get into either one of the 4 palettes. I don't know which one yet, honestly. Secretly, I just did a different look already using the winter palette, so I don't think I'm gonna show you the winter palette now because I just worked with it. So either spring, summer, or fall. It is summer currently, so maybe something a little summery. I love, love, love how that periwinkle kind of sort of shade is looking, so I might do something with that, honestly. Yeah, we'll get into that. Also, my base is not done yet. I need to do my base makeup very quickly. Okay, as always, I'm wearing my trusty Milani eyeshadow primer. That one. I use that for every single makeup look I do, so I'm using it here as well. And I'm getting into the summer palette. This is such a fun, fresh palette. And I'm getting into some of those blue shades because I wanna. And I think it will match the shirt a bit, you know. I'm just gonna get into some big fluffy brushes and I'm going into this shade over here called Picnic. And I'm gonna blend it out all across the crease. I think for a light pastel-y shade like that, that's a lot of pigment. And I feel like it doesn't turn like ashy, it actually turns a bit deeper even on my skin. Of course, I don't know how shades like this perform on deeper skin tones. I am pasty white, so basically anything can show up on my skin. I feel like that's a really soft and fun shade. It's easy to apply, easy to blend. Oh, we do have a bit of fallout there. Oh god, I forgot I had glitters on my fingers. I am so sorry. That always happens. Let's just pretend there's not like a bunch of glitters on my nose right now. Layering this beautiful light blue shade. To make it a little bit brighter, I'm going in with this shade called Fresh, which is a bit more bright and green tones. So I'm just applying that over here to the brow bone, basically. Blending it outwards a bit. Basically using it to highlight that brow bone. And then also going a bit for that inner corner. Yeah, I love how that brightens up everything a bit. I think we have 2 very great pale shades in here. Then I'm gonna go into this shade called Heat, which is a really beautiful blue. Adding that to the center of the lid. You will know I prefer to use my fingers for shimmers, but I'm blending it outwards into those matte shades a bit. So it's mainly covering almost the entire lid, basically. To make sure it really blends, I like to go in with those matte shades a tiny bit, just to kind of clean up that crease again. I am absolutely covered in glitter right now. I have been noticing that with these palettes a bit. There is some fallout. I personally don't mind. I always forget when palettes do that because then I would prefer to do my base makeup after I do my eye makeup, but I sometimes don't think about it. Yeah, but I don't mind cleaning up my face a bit. Then I'm going into this shade called Youth, which is also a beautiful, very bright, almost white blue. I'm using that on the inner corner, also dragging that onto the lid and then that inner corner of the crease. It's where I like to do my highlights. Okay, we have this lovely icy blue look going on. I feel like if you looked at this right now, you wouldn't necessarily say that this is summer. You would maybe call this a winter palette, but I also kind of like that the palettes are not conventional for that specific season. Because I do feel like if you add a lot of this red shimmer to this look, that would look very fun and look more summery, which we could do. I think I'm gonna add in some deeper shimmers. I'm going into that one called Seaside. I think I'm gonna try and use that one as eyeliner. I'm gonna try to go in with a bit more of a liner brush to actually get that shape. See if that works. I feel like maybe this wasn't my best idea because this shimmer is a bit flaky, which in general is really not a bad formula. I just don't think it works very well for what I'm trying to do here, but that's on me, honestly. I like using the silicone brush for formulas like this. They do tend to work a bit better. If you want to be a bit more precise than using your finger, I think that's decent. I like that. Okay, I've applied a glittery liner on both eyes. I think that's very fun. Yeah, there's glitter everywhere, so I may recommend doing your base after you do your eye makeup. Lots of people already do that, but I do not. That is not in my system, honestly. Do keep that in mind. Just adding a light blue eye pencil to the waterline. Then I'm gonna have to choose a lippy for this. I feel like a glossy lip would work better for the look because it's so soft and dainty and fun. So I think a glossy lip would work better than a matte lip. So I'm going for one of the glosses. But what shade? God, I don't know. The most cool toned one, maybe? Let's just do a tiny bit of lip liner. I'm using the Catrice Plumping Lip Liner in Manhattan. So I'm gonna be using the lip gloss in the shade Citrus Camellia. Ooh. Yeah, that's a pretty shade. I think that matches the look well. I feel like that matches like the peachy blush as well. Okay, I'll finish up with some highlighter and mascara and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm back with the finished look. I thought that was such an easy look to do. I mean, the shadows applied so smoothly. We did have a lot of fallout, so do keep that in mind. So far, it's the Oden eye quality that I'm used to, so I'm happy. And I think that that just pale blue shade has so much beautiful pigment. Looks great. Without looking ashy. It looks beautiful. I love it. So that is this look finished. So far, what I have used, I am enjoying. I'm also enjoying it on my eyes a lot more than I thought I would based off of the swatches. But like I said, that tacky base is just gonna make a whole big difference basically. I can't wait to try out the rest of this collection and play with it more because it's such a fun collection. It's a great expansion. I love that we get a lot of eyeshadow because I am an eyeshadow girly. Eyeshadow is just my favorite part of the entire routine. And I love that we get a bunch of different formulas also in the lip product section. But I do think no one needs this entire collection basically. If you're interested, just choose like the colors that you would like, you know? Because I feel like adding 4 new palettes to your collection is a lot. I'm overwhelmed. They are great and I love that the color stories are very different, so you can definitely choose what fits you best. But if you have all of them, you're not gonna have any doubles. It's not gonna like be in the way of each other. You're still gonna have 4 very different color stories that are gonna give you very different looks. So I do enjoy that. So yeah, that is the new Oden's Eye Älva expansion of the collection basically. So this collection will launch on July 1st. These are the times that it will launch. So if you have any questions to me about any of these products, let me know. I might have an answer. And if you're waiting to see more content like lip swatches on the lips, close-up swatches, more looks, like a lot more looks, do keep an eye on my Instagram because I will be sharing a lot more content with this collection over the next few days, weeks maybe, because I am very inspired by it. Like these are some cute palettes and it's a cute collection, so I do want to dive into it and try everything. Keep an eye on my Instagram if you want to follow that a bit. Let me know what you think of this new collection in the comments below. Let's have a little bit of a chat about it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. If you want to see even more from me, my Instagram is linked down below where you can find all creative makeup content. And that's going to be it for me today. I want to thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Toodles!